Now, Shepard Smith reporting live from the Fox News deck.
And good Monday afternoon to you from the news deck. And there's more trouble for a Boy Scout leader who's under investigation for knocking over an ancient rock formation in Utah. He's now facing questions about a lawsuit he filed just weeks before toppling that 2,000-pound rock. In case you haven't seen the video, here it is.
Wiggle it just a little bit.
First a song, then the hilarity. Experts say that formation survived 170 million years. That is, until the laughing, high-fiving Boy Scout leader came along. Oh, by the way, former Boy Scout leader. The Boy Scout leader said that the rock was not safe, that it might fall on one of his kids, so he pushed it over. No hilarity. Either way, we're learning the guy who pushed it over had filed this personal injury lawsuit last month after he survived a car crash. But he didn't do it just days or weeks or months after that. He filed that claim 4 years later. The man claims that crash left him disabled, even though he seemed to have very little trouble knocking over that giant rock. But his attorney says the rock video does not prove anything. He says his client may be recovering, but that he still suffered pain in the past. Let's bring this to a lawyer. Rosemarie Arnold joins us now, live in studio. I don't know what you can get for knocking over an ancient rock formation, but I mean, you can get the ire of a lot of folks, I'm confident.
Absolutely. But when you're talking about a case like this, if you're going to present a case like this to a jury, what kind of jury is going to believe that you actually had back pain when you were able to push that 2,000-pound rock the way you did? And forget about the fact that you could push it. After he pushed it, what you couldn't see on the video is he did a little wiggle dance.
Well, he had a song to go along with his extravaganza.
He had a song. Someone sang the wiggle song, and he did the dance. And if you're in that much pain, even if you think someone else is going to be in danger and it's such an emergency and you have to push that rock to save the little Boy Scouts, when you're done, you're going to be in pain. You're not going to be doing your wiggle dance.
So there are questions about this lawsuit and whether it's frivolous.
Well, the fact that the guy had pain 4 years ago is very possible. It's going to be very difficult to convince a jury that he has pain now.
As for, I guess, what the charge could be some sort of mischief or whatever for knocking this rock formation over 170 million years in the making?
Well, what we're hearing is that in Utah, the authorities want to charge these guys with a criminal act. Now, this could be considered in that state criminal mischief. And in Utah, you could go to jail for criminal mischief. It can be, depending on the value of the property you destroyed, it could be a second-degree felony. It doesn't have anything to do with intent. It has to do with the value of the property that you destroyed.
The men involved here are Glenn Taylor and Dave Hall. They were leaders of local Boy Scout troop, and they were also Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints youth leaders. And they say that authorities haven't even contacted them yet about this incident.
Well, that's possible. Right on the video, after he pushed that boulder, he said, well, I was doing this because there was a boy that walked past it a couple of minutes before, and that he was trying to save people from getting hurt. And that could possibly be true. There's no people, I mean, he said that immediately, so it's not like when confronted by the authorities, all of a sudden he changed his story and said, oh, this was an emergency. He said that right as it was happening. Well, so it's believable.
He seemed very happy at that moment with great hilarity, but things are not always as they seem, because this is what he has sworn in an affidavit for his lawsuit. He says since the 2009 crash, the Boy Scout leader claims he's, quote, endured great pain and suffering, disability, impairment, and loss of joy of life. Maybe the boulder fixed it. Nice to see you. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
The president says there is no